Friends, I have a story for you. It's a really good story. This is a story about a bat, and I found a bat. So fun. Do you remember when I tell you about how I go to the national parks and I always find really good stories? Well, when I found this story about the bat, I also found this little stuffed animal that looks like a bat. This is a little bit bigger than this bat would have been in the story, but this is a story about a baby bat, and it's called Night Song. So I want you to listen to this story. Bats are an animal that fly at night. They sleep during the day and they fly at night. So they're called nocturnal animals. That means they're active at night and sleep during the day. And this is a really fun story. So this is a story that is about a bat and what a bat might do. But in this story, the bat is acting like a person and it's talking and saying things and doing things, but it really still is acting like a bat. So I hope you like it. I'm going to put my bat down by my feet. The story is called Night Song. And let me find the first page. So I love the way the illustrator made this. A lot of the pages, almost all the pages in this book, look like it is night. Here's the title page. This story is called Night Song. It's written by Ari Burke and illustrated by Lauren Long. The sun had set, and the shadows, clinging to the walls of the cave, began to wake and whisper. "Cheero, little wing," the bat mother said to her child. "Tonight you must fly into the world, and I will wait here for you." Do you see how the author showed us the bats are hanging upside down? And the mama bat is holding her baby bat kind of close to her and they're snuggling together. "But the night is dark, Mama, darker than the moth's dark eyes, darker even than the water before dawn," the little bat exclaimed. He twitched his ears this way and that way. Do you see how he's still upside down? "I know," whispered his mother, "and when it is that dark outside, I cannot always see," Cheero said, stretching his wings. "There are other ways to see," she told him, "other ways to help you make your way into the world." "How?" "You use your good sense." "What is sense?" the little bat asked. His mother folded him in her wings and whispered into his waiting ears. "Sense is the song you sing out into the world, and the song the world sings back to you. Sing, and the world will answer. That is how you will see. Now fly from our cave to the pond where we bats like best to eat. Have your breakfast, then fly home, but do not go further than the pond, not unless your song is sure." And then she let him go. So she was hanging on to him before, and now she let him go. Cheero fell into the cold air for an instant, and then he flapped and turned and flew out past the mouth of the cave and into the waiting night. So, do you see how the illustrator made it look as if he's flying in the sky, in the dark sky, and you can't see anything? And that's how the little bat felt. At first, Cheero tried to peer his way through the dark. Long arms rose up in front of him, waving slowly, and blocking his path. He could not see around them or over them. Chiro was frightened. Look at the page and see what were the long arms that were reaching out and blocking his way. What do you think they were? If you said trees, you are right. So he was flying in the night, and the trees were like arms that were blocking his way. But he remembered his mother's bright words, use your good sense. Chiro began to sing, softly at first. So bats make a noise, and they use that noise to help them to know where they are going. So do you see his mouth? He's opening his mouth and he's making a noise. And the author of the story calls the noise he is making his song. So he is singing. But then, more surely, his song flew ahead of him, and soon he could hear something singing back. Tall trees called out to him. They chanted the lengths of their long branches and the girths of their rough trunks. Gleefully he flew through the woods, past the pines, and over the maples, and away. So he sang out to the trees, and the trees made noises, and then he knew where the trees were. Flying higher now, Chiro saw something sliding through the sky toward him. So out went his song, and where danger once threatened, now Chiro saw only a flock of friends flying above him on their evening errands. What were the flock of friends that were flying above him? Geese. Where do we see geese? Have you seen geese at our East Lake Pond? As he flew further, Chiro heard strange sounds, lines of noise, 1,000 voices buzzing from one end of the sky to another. For just a moment, Chiro didn't know what to do or which way to go, but he followed his own song. In the sky behind him flowed a river of whispers, fading away. The pond was just ahead. So when he sings, the illustrator wanted us to know that his song is the part that looks blue, and then he knows where he's going. When Chiro came to the pond, singing still, he was very hungry. All the night creatures were there above the reeds, thousands of tiny flying tasty things, each one humming a different tune. For Chiro, each of their songs sounded like breakfast. What were the things that he heard? They were little tiny bugs, and bats love to eat bugs. So I'm going to stop the story right here so that our video doesn't get too long. So you're going to go to the next video to hear the rest of the story.